Texas at Baylor going to Waco. 15-point line. Now, you can actually get this at some places 14.5. You can get it at 15.5. So, honestly, it's not really – 15 is not a key number. So, I mean, if you're going to bet Baylor, you might as well get it at 15. If you're going to bet Texas, you might as well get it at 14.5. But for the sake of the show, we're going to be picking this game at plus 15. As I mentioned earlier in the show, it may be surprising to some people that Texas has the worst offensive success rate in all of college football. And here's the thing. I know there's going to be comments in here, flooding in here, that are going to say, check your facts, bro. Check your facts. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. It is. I have a hard time believing it as well. But that is what the case is. They've relied a lot on explosive plays. And their defense. How about their defense? Number 1 in the country in defensive success rate. Yes. That is exactly that's what won Texas the game against Alabama. That is what kept them in the game against Wyoming. That is what held off JT Daniels and Rice, right? Yeah, this is a good team. I mean, with that being said, right, I'm just going to say, just be careful if you're thinking about, there's no way Texas doesn't blow these guys out by 30, right? Just be careful with that. Just be careful with that. Actually putting money on that. Sawyer Robertson's back for Baylor. Is it Sawyer Robertson this week, or is he injured?
Yeah, it is. Arenas came out and said it's not going to be Shapen this week. It's going to be he didn't mention Sawyer Robertson by name, I believe. Not that they were expecting a QB transition there. They got their first win last week. He played just a little bit better, but yeah, they need a Shapen back. If Shapen was playing this game, I would really consider taking Baylor to cover here. It's a prime letdown spot. Last week for Texas, they were bad. They were pretty sluggish. They cannot sleepwalk through this game either.
At home.
Yeah, and guess what? They're still Texas. Your season's not over. Just because you beat Bama in week 2 doesn't mean that you're already in the playoffs, right? You're 0-0 in conference play, right? That Bama win is looking less and less impressive every week, right? And it could get worse. You have to make a statement in the Big 12 here that you're not messing around, right? I look for Quinn Ewers to get back on track. Good quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have played well against Baylor. I'll say that. TJ Finley had his way with them. Nate Johnson, right? Once he got in there, he made some plays.
On Texas one possession.
Texas has too much talent, right? Give me Texas to win, but that's a lot to cover. I'm gonna go Baylor plus 15, more so because they do not want to drop to 1-3. That would be so bad for Dave Aranda after a sluggish year last year, and for a better like me that took the over on the year.
I was gonna say,
I need them to at least keep it close, keep continuing to build momentum, or try to build momentum. But yeah, 15 points is a lot to cover on the road if you're Texas, and I think Baylor still has some talent. I hope they show up, man. That's why I'm taking Baylor plus 15. I think they will.
Okay. I mean, with all that being said, I'm taking Texas and the points. So I think that's fair. Look, if you thought Sawyer Robertson looked bad against Utah, just wait till the average weight of 310 pounds, that is the Texas defensive line, gets in there and starts really messing some stuff up. Jalen Catalon's played well. I mean, this is a defense that has played at a very, very high level this year. Very high level. And I do not expect that to stop. I get it that they're on the road. Okay. Look, Quinn Ewers is a good quarterback. Got into it on Twitter with a guy arguing whether Quinn Ewers is better than Connor Wigman and who is better. They're both good quarterbacks. Okay. I think Quinn Ewers is he has the talent around him to do so, to take that next step, right? We keep talking about taking that next step. And he did against Bama. I think Texas puts up a lot of points. I think Quinn Ewers looks better this week than he did last week against Wyoming, which, by the way, if not for that Xavier Worthy, kind of screen pass or whatever you want to call that short pass, whatever, to Xavier Worthy, he would have been under 100 yards for the day against Wyoming. So I mean, just think about that, right? So I would like more consistency out of Quinn Ewers, right? I mean, I took throw over win total 9.5. Let's see it. Here's the time to prove it, Quinn Ewers. Give me something in Big 12 play to start the season or to start your Big 12 conference play. Texas and the points land. Not an official Dawson's Diner play, but in terms of picking for the show, give me that.
Yeah, I'll say this to add to your point about Quinn Ewers. He's played 8.5 quarters. I'm sorry, 9 quarters of really good football. And the rest of it has honestly been pretty subpar. He had 4 quarters, obviously, against Alabama last 2 weeks ago. He had the Red River rivalry game a year ago at Oklahoma, or against Oklahoma, and tore apart that defense, which everybody did, by the way. And then for a quarter against Bama last year. Other than that, I mean, he's been very up and down. The reason why I think you and I, we know that, right? He's Quinn Ewers. He's very talented, obviously. The reason why I don't think they're going to lose this game is because that defense is so good. And that's what makes this Texas team different, right? That defense keeps them in games. Whereas a year ago, last year, Quinn Ewers plays bad. It struggles. And some teams, I mean, yes, their defense was pretty fine last year, but more was riding on Quinn Ewers to make plays and to keep them in games. Whereas this year, their defense can do it. And it can take Quinn Ewers a couple quarters to get going, but they can still, end up being in the team by 17 points or whatever it is. Not today, though. Hopefully it's just by 14 points. Because I do have the over on both these teams. Like you said, I'm riding with you at Texas. And Baylor's is still my over, 7 wins. A long way to go, especially if we drop to 1-3. Looking forward for Baylor. Yeah, you need this one here. At least be competitive at home. At least be competitive at home. It's all you can ask for. It's all David Aranda can ask for you. I don't know. Yeah.
Texas is giving up 2.9 yards per carry. Can Sawyer Robertson do it through the air? That's what you got to ask yourself.
You just got to hope that number is wrong and that Baylor can do what Bama couldn't do. It's run the ball.
Exactly.
I think their defense will make some plays, though. Baylor's defense. I think if you can turn the ball over, you can turn Quinn Ewers over, short fields for Sawyer Robertson, get him confidence early. It's college football, right? I mean, yes, Texas has a really talented defense, and defense typically travels better than offense on the road, but it's not every week. It's not every time. It's not guaranteed. Who knows? I'm just having a gut feeling with this on Baylor.
And you and I both have firsthand seen a Division III level quarterback beat one of the best defenses in the country a couple years ago. His name was Zach Calzada. He currently plays at Incarnate Word. He is not a Division I football player. And he was for one game for 4 quarters. He slung the rock around. It was absurd. I've never seen anything like it. Does Sawyer Robertson have a Zach Calzada game in him? I don't know.
Zach Calzada's sitting there, and he just got a stray. He just got an absolute stray from us here at the Redshirt Sophomore. But Sawyer Robertson, he's a guy that the staff was high on in the summer, and it's not that they're still high on him. Obviously, he's a young quarterback. He's a backup quarterback. Okay, like with the transfer portal rules nowadays, even though they got him in the transfer portal, like backup quarterbacks are not always elite, especially at a program like Baylor. You can't expect him, to be playing fantastic football. Should he have lost to Texas State? No. Should he have blown that game against Utah? No. If Baylor's 3-0 right now, I mean, how much different is this game? And I think that Sawyer Robertson has a chance, and this team has a chance to play up to that potential. Are they going to win? Probably not. No, but I think it could be really close. Again, I think it could be really close.